Miss Jeanette Akua. Did I get that right? Good morning.
You got it right. That is me, Molweni. Goeiemorgen. I'm so happy to be online, to be live with you guys.
Marla, Jeanette, it's so nice to see your beautiful face. Did you do that face for us, or this is just how you move through the world?
I woke up like this, Apples. I just woke up and this happened. No, I definitely woke up and, had to drag a bit of face beat. I had to be a bit cute for you guys.
Now, let me just clear this up, all right? Why on earth are we talking to Miss Universe Great Britain and not Miss Universe South Africa? I'll tell you why. Because this year we have two irons in the fire, because Miss Universe Great Britain is from South Africa.
And we South Africans, we like to claim our own. And you are one of us.
I am.
It's a little bit treasonous, though.
I'm a woman of the world. I have so much love for South Africa. I was born and raised there, born in Eastern Cape. I'm a Xhosa girl.
Yes.
Moved to Johannesburg, but I moved to London as a teenager to pursue my dreams, but South Africa is in my heart. I'm a proud British citizen, and there's no reason for me to choose one side. I'm everything and anything. And I'm very, very proud to represent you guys and Great Britain.
But now, as we just go back here, I read the story that you left South Africa because you didn't go as far as you would have liked to in Idols.
Wow, the stories. No, I mean, I'm a dreamer. I'm someone who knows that you audition, there's trial and error. There's nothing that's guaranteed. But I definitely did not leave South Africa because I didn't make it through to Idols. I left South Africa because my dad lived in London prior to me moving, and it was always the plan anyway. So it just happened to be that the time frame was after Idols. But no, I didn't move because of that.
Because then you had great success with your band. And which TV show were you in? The chair one.
Yeah, no, well, that one's so I was on X Factor UK in 2013, made it to the live shows, finished 10th place with my band, got the chance to tour the world, perform for millions of people every week. And the band disbanded. And then I started studying for my undergraduate degree in economics and business, tried the music scene again, auditioned for Britain's Got Talent, made it through to the semi-finals. Simon Cowell said I might be a future star. So, hey, Simon. And then I did my master's degree in international economic policy and analysis. So I always say I'm a multifaceted woman. We don't have to choose one version of ourselves. I'm an academic. I work in the corporate world as the youngest manager at an economic consultancy firm, but I'm also a musician. I love music. So that is my story in a nutshell.
And your newest title, of course, is Miss Universe Great Britain. How did that come about? I mean, master's graduate. I mean, you were a beauty consultant in your past life. You've done so many things. Not all of us can stumble into Miss Universe. So what was that journey like for you?
Wow, that's such a funny story, actually. So I had started working at the economic firm that I work at. And 2019 in December, I remember sitting in my office and my colleague, who's much older than me, was like, "Oh, Jeanette, you'll be proud to know that a South African has won Miss Universe." I was like, "What?" I quickly went onto Google. I'm like, "Zozibini Tunzi." What? Oh my gosh. And that was the first time a penny dropped. I was like, wow. She said, "See, your face is reflected in mine." And I 100% saw my face reflected in hers. And I thought, why can't I do it? If she can do it, I can do it. And so I started a campaign called Be Audacious. It's about empowering women to have the audacity to pursue their dreams and to have the nerve to walk through doors we are told are not meant for us. I always say we live in a society that often teaches women to shrink and to tiptoe through life. And I think that's why we're underrepresented in leadership. So I grabbed onto the opportunity to have, a leadership platform on a global scale. And that's what brought me to Miss Universe. I said, if I'm going to do a pageant, I'm going to do the greatest pageant in the world, and it's going to be Miss Universe. And I won. Well, Miss Universe Great Britain.
Yes.
And this is a girl That was at 17, handing out flyers at a taxi rank in Randburg.
And I love how you say we are done being meek and mild. We are being audacious. So as a pageant queen, you say that pageants are more than just beauty to you. So why is this crown? Why is this title so important to you? And what do pageants mean to you in 2021?
I think pageants have completely evolved. I mean, we see the current title holder. It's all about a balance between beauty. Yes, we don't need to nullify the fact that it is a beauty pageant, but it's women of substance. You know, I competed with doctors, lawyers, politicians, and I think it's a leadership platform to give women, young women in particular, an opportunity to amplify their message. And for me, it means an opportunity to get my Be Audacious campaign on a bigger scale. I always say, if I were to win Miss Universe, I want to build an army of audacious women who are unapologetic about who they are. So I really want to start a movement of women from diverse ranges of backgrounds, sharing and owning their stories, because we're so powerful.
Well, one of those stories is quite hectic. Going back to the taxi rank in Randburg, I don't know how much of this has been miscommunicated, or you know, you were held hostage for 2 days in some room somewhere near that taxi rank.
Yes,
no, through that.
Of course. So I was 18, and I will clarify it was one day. Nonetheless, just as traumatizing. I wanted a part-time job as anyone, and I was handing out flyers at Randburg taxi rank station. And I remember someone sort of yanked my hair and said, "What are you doing here?" And I mean, I was sent by my boss. I thought we had the permits, and they were like, "Where's your permit? Where's your permit?" So here I am. I'm like, "I've got my permit." And he literally just yanked my hair, pulled my friend into a room, and they held us there until our bosses at the time came and, you know, had an exchange. And yeah, so it was quite traumatizing. But I think it's so important for women to be allowed to own their stories. And we always talk about believing women when they tell their story. And I don't think it takes away from my love of South Africa. That is the place I was born and raised. I love it so much. But I think it's my responsibility to talk about these tough issues and, you know, look at each other and say, how can we change this, you know?
And how much of that incident shaped the young woman that you became, you know, just in terms of, you spoke about the audaciousness, bravery.
Yes.
What did that incident mean to you at the time? I mean, you were so young.
Yes. No, it meant a lot to me at the time. And without milking the story, I remember because it was a Randburg taxi rank is very full. It was daylight. And I remember screaming at the time and looking at everyone around like, "Are you guys going to help me?" And they just looked at me almost like, I'm the problem, as if I'm the problem. And it really did start up a fire in me to know that so many women, I'm lucky to be alive, but so many women have these stories that they don't get to tell their story. And I think it's important for me to raise awareness on, you know, gender-based violence. We know the way that's happening. It's not something that should be swept under the carpet, you know. And I think it's time for people to start looking at the perpetrators and say, you need to do better. It's not for people to turn around and say to women, "Oh, you should, what were you doing there? You should keep quiet. You're exaggerating the story." That is my truth. And so Be Audacious is all about telling those stories. And I like to say, yes, Be Audacious is heavy, but it's also light. You know, I speak to women from all over the world, from business owners, architects, women who used to scrub toilets, who are now the business owners, single mothers. I think it's so important to share a wide and diverse range of stories, because that is what is going to help us challenge toxic status quos and redefine what it means to be a successful woman in 2021.
So, sorry, Jeanette. So now, how did you adapt to living from most likely nice wide open spaces in South Africa to those little terraced houses in London?
London, girl, it's so funny. As you speak, I'm in my little cute apartment and I'm looking at all the buildings outside. You know, I was lucky that I moved here when I was 18. And I had just matriculated, and most people are on the cusp of it, you know, they're transitioning at that age, whether they're about to go to university, you know, meet new friends. So I was at an age where I was ready and I was very adaptable. Yes, there was a culture shock. When I arrived, I remember my dad told me to pack a winter coat, a winter jacket. It's very cold. But yeah, I've got a winter jacket, the one I wear, you know, in our South African winter. I got to Heathrow Airport. I was like, where is this freezer coming from? So those were one of the few things. But honestly, I love London. And I think anyone who's traveled the world, but particularly in London, we know it's such a melting pot of so many cultures and people from so many countries. I think the majority of people that live in London aren't London born. So that's right. It's the beauty of London, and I love it so much. And I think it allows me to embrace where I come from, because no one is going to say, oh, you can't claim to be from here and there and say you're from London at the same time. Everyone in London is from everywhere. So that's how I've adapted. I would say I've adapted quite well.
So you're going to be heading off to the US, to Florida, where now, okay, Miss South Africa's, ex-Miss South Africa's, and all our Miss Universes, they all have literally a WhatsApp group, and they all chit-chat to each other all day. Have you been allowed in there with this recent win of yours?
So the Miss Universe Great Britain, we have our own group chat of former title holders. So I have been invited onto that one. But the South African, I'm still waiting for my invite, guys. Hi, Instagram is Jeanette Akua. I'm waiting for the invite.
Well, look, good luck over there. I think South Africa is going to be rooting for two people this year.
Yeah.
You know?
We were backing two women, which is very exciting.
Can you do this? I know you won't be able to do it in voice, but if you win in the next couple months, when you're holding that crown and you've cried and you've, and you're standing there with your flowers, just give South Africa a double wink with your left eye. Just, and then we'll know, and we'll know that's for us.
I'll do that. I'll keep that in mind. But thank you so much for your support, guys. It means a lot. I want to emphasize the fact that I love South Africa. That is my home country, and I'm a British citizen. So I would love you guys to wrap arms around me, and I hope to do you guys proud.
Thanks, Jeanette.
Now, just one thing here. In a rugby match between England and the Springboks, pick a team. Who were you rooting for in the last World Cup final?
Funny story. So my boyfriend is English. I'm not into sport at all, but during the rugby season, he was like, yeah, England's amazing. We're going to beat you. And I wasn't too bothered about sport. And then when he told me that South Africa and England are up against each other, I'm like, you've created a monster in me. South Africa's going to beat you guys. And when we won, I was like, South Africa's the best. I've never heard my boyfriend so quiet. He so swiftly moved on from the topic of rugby. I'm like, you were telling me about how great y'all guys are, but no. So it's all love. It's all love.
Jeanette, you really are awesome. You've got such, you're just fantastic. And I think you're going to go very, very far. So if it's not going to be Miss South Africa this time, then I really hope it is Miss Great Britain. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye-bye. Jeanette Akua, Miss Great Britain, South Africa, Miss Universe.
KFM Mornings with Darren, Sherlin, and Sibs.